Hello, people. Welcome to the Trafford Tunnel. It's episode 8. Tonight, it's a good one because we've got good vibes. We've got good people. We've just won the Manchester derby. Hopefully, my guy in the corner's back. But we're going to get into business because I've got a great panel tonight. I'm joined by my guy, Biz.
Come on.
How you doing? You good, yeah?
I'm happy, bro. Manchester derby winners. Liverpool keep losing. Arsenal keep bantering. Piers Morgan Piers Morgan sacked this morning.
There we go. And do you know what? Even to put, Piers Morgan's just left Good Morning Britain as well.
Yeah, he resigned, didn't it? Man resigned because a chick, a girl ghosted him. And a girl ghosted him. He got pressed on it and then he left. We all miss shots and that, innit? You know what I'm saying? Ask Company and go Lacazette about missing shots or Werner. It happens, innit? You gotta keep going.
I love it.
Keep going.
Energy's good, man. Energy's good. I'm going to take that in. Arbiz has started me off perfectly. I'm going to go into Flawless, Mr. Take Note from Sarcasm City TV. How you doing, my brother?
Yo, big up. First and foremost, big up for having me. Much appreciated for the invite. Secondly, I'm blessed, man. I'm all good. No complaints. You already know how it is.
Wicked. Obviously, people, Flawless, I'll plug it at the end as well, but he's done a show with our other host, obviously Daps, which is True the Fact, where you get to know Flawless a bit more in detail, away from the football side. But for your own channel, Flawless, where can people find you as well?
I mean, you can see it right there. Tyrone already mentioned it there, Sarcasm City TV. So just make sure you subscribe to the channel. And it's much more than sport over there. So obviously, it's mainly sport. We have football shows, United show, there's an Arsenal show, Manchester City show, but we also have MMA, boxing, politics show coming soon, Q&As. Anything you like will be over there. So just subscribe to the channel. And then, because we go live literally every day. There's a show on there every day.
There we go.
Get locked in.
He's got it. You can tell as well. Obviously, he's into his music as well. So check out Pi Radio. I know he does his thing on there as well.
Yeah, from a third eye view. Yeah, thanks. I forgot about that plug as well. Yeah, that's every Monday on Premier League show. Every Monday on Pi Radio and that. There's so much stuff going on. Yeah,
it's like you got a catalog of shows in your head. You're just like
so many. That's why I was like, just go to Sarcasm City TV and follow me. That's be Flawless across all platforms, and you'll see it.
Love that. I got a little comment here from Sam Taylor saying Flawless from Sarcasm City TV, bro. Big moves. Got loads of comments coming already. Love that. Jerry always coming on to me late as always. We're just talking about music, man. We're here now though. It's going to be a good show. Right. I'm going to take my guy into Aiden. And the reason I wanted to get Aiden on, I don't really know Aiden too well, people, but I've been chatting to him lately. And I think I saw him on one of these podcasts and he was talking about Ollie. And I just thought, when I saw this guy just come real, natural, and proper factual as well. I like that rhymes. Raw, natural, factual. But,
Tyrone about to get into the studio.
Read up that,
yeah, man. Aiden, thank you for coming on, man. Obviously, I know you don't have your own channel, but people, if obviously you want to speak to Aiden about United and everything, I know he's taking a little break at the moment, but yeah, he knows his stuff, man. So, Aiden, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Happy to come on, bro. Happy to come on. I know I can't come on to everyone's show. Come on to people that I know I know what they're on about and know that I have proper conversations. So I'm happy to come on, man. Happy to come on, have a talk, and looking forward to it, man.
Wicked. Love that. It's going to be good vibes tonight. Hopefully we'll get you all wrapped up before the Champions League so we can watch Sancho or maybe Haaland. Big up Ransom Bants in the comments as well.
Oh, that's always a fake. These fake accounts and that, yo. There's a fake account that. They everywhere, these fake accounts. It's a fake account and that. They everywhere, man, these fake accounts and that. People got time on their hands and that. You lot start a channel, man. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Economy as well. And then we got a comment here from Mark, always a regular, respecting the show. So big up everyone that's tuned in. Make sure you like and subscribing. It's Trafford Tunnel. We've done the intros. Now we're going to get straight into the action. And to be honest, after a win against Manchester City, I don't know where to start because there's positives, and positives. But first of all, I did headline the show, Roberto Carlos, that picture going around of Luke Shaw, the Brazil kit. I have to say he's probably more Brazilian than Fred right now, but big up. That was one of the guys in the group chat saying that earlier, Wasim. But Arbiz, I'm gonna come to you first. Start with the top right. Luke Shaw. Obviously, we're gonna move. We'll talk a bit about the game, but I want to talk more generically so the topics last all week. But yeah, Luke Shaw's flying, man. Obviously, he had the leg break a few years ago, had a few ins and outs of Jose Mourinho, and to me, he's finding form. It's been about 6 weeks now, but I feel like he's growing. And what impressed me the most yesterday is that even Ollie said after the game that he actually passed a late fitness test, and then to put in a performance like that against someone like Riyad Mahrez, to me, that shows everything about him at the moment. What do you think about Roberto Carlos?
Yeah, do you know what? Fair play to him, man, because beginning of the season, he pissed me off in that 6-1 game against Tottenham. And, he's actually bounced back from that. He stepped up. and he just keeps performing, man. I ain't got a bad word to say about him. Actually, I do actually. Just a tight, just small little thing. Yeah, he needs to just work on his defending, just a touch. Like he goes to sleep at times, and you know he's not looking over his shoulder because there's a few times City was doing the overlaps, and he just purely went to sleep. And Maguire, out of all people, actually covered him. But apart from that, going forward though, he's improved massively, and may it continue in it because it helps the team out. So,
what do you think? Like has been the main turning point for him, in terms of his form and even just him himself?
Do you know what? I don't really know. Because a few people would say that he's lost weight. I don't even think he's lost weight. He looks exactly the same.
Yeah,
he looks exactly the same. I just feel like I think it's, you know what? It's probably Tellez. The Tellez thing coming in and.
Exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Tellez coming in, and that's just like made him think, you know what, I can't mess about now. I have to kind of, you know what I mean, get my act together. Obviously, 2 years ago, he won Player of the Year
I think
for
so.
us. Yeah.
Like
So,
yeah. 18, 19 was it?
Yeah, I mean that was banter, complete banter why he won that year. But yeah, but this season, yeah, he's definitely up for Player of the Year for me. So. It's good to see him progress after, you know, not really didn't start the season very well, but
he's coming on well. And it's good to see. Do you know what?
there.
If anything, probably everyone will agree. When you want your players firing, it's towards this side of the season where it all matters.
Yeah.
So we can't really complain. Flawless, obviously, with left backs. Luke Shaw at the moment, I've just got a little stat here at the bottom saying most chances created in the league by defenders. Luke Shaw's flying away at the top, and we also know that Robertson and Trent are normally up there and they're stealing the show. But Luke Shaw is, man. What's impressing you most about him?
It's what we've wanted to see from him for the longest. I was very critical of Shaw because he wasn't even attempting to do the right things. If you get in the positions to do certain things, but you lack the skill, I'm like, all right, that makes sense. But it was times where if this is Luke Shaw last year, he doesn't score that goal. He doesn't make the initial run. He doesn't pick up the ball from Henderson's distribution and run past a man, run past another man. He was positive. The intent was there. And we know he had the skill. This is why we were so highly critical of him. But we seen it last year when Williams came in. So when Williams got promoted from the youth team, his form stepped up. So it seems that when his place is under threat and he has genuine competition, he raises his game. So Ollie should be looking at that and figure that out. So what I put down his form to is Tellez. Is literally Tellez. We don't get this Luke Shaw without him. It's like, where has this been? We know you have the ability to do it. So my issue is, where has this been? And it's great to see because now you're impacting big games and things of that nature. And the reason why he's so high on the chances created list is because when you take corners and free kicks, that adds to it as well.
True.
Fair enough.
His set piece delivery, his set has been A1 this year, man. It's been really good.
That bolds the question, where has this been for the longest? This is all we've been asking for, is for you to be positive, getting on the overlap. Like, remember, it might have been this season when there was a time, I can't remember who we was playing, and Bruno had the ball, and Bruno told him to overlap, and he just told him no.
He got vexed at him, innit?
Yeah, he just told him no.
Yeah.
That was on Bruno's debut as well, wasn't it?
Was it his debut? I can't remember when it was. And that's my point. So I don't think Shaw scores that goal in the Manchester derby last season, but this season he's transformed. It's great to see. I'm happy. And with Tellez there, we have an adequate replacement. And this is what competition for places does, isn't it? It lets you know he knows if he plays bad, all right, Tellez could come in and I might not get my place back because Tellez started well.
It's true. And when you look at like other teams around us in the top 4, top 5, a lot of them you want to have 2 players in each position that are capable of playing. And I think now that we're in Europa League, it does help us that Tellez can play probably against Milan. Them type of games suit him because it's a bit slower, whereas the Premier League's quite end to end, quite frantic. And it's good because Shaw can obviously stay fresh, stay fit. I think Ollie's got a lot to say with the Shaw thing. I think even with Martial, which we'll get to in a bit later. But I think just having a manager who believes in you and says, right, do you know what? I can see what you can do. I want you to show it. There with no fear. Because Mourinho was just, I don't know if people like Mourinho, but he was just one of them managers that if he doesn't like you, it's kind of like goodbye, kind of, I want to get you out. And I think he just needed the arm around his shoulder. And Ollie's done that. And now Shaw's actually said, right, it's down to Shaw as well. Ollie can say do this, but Shaw's actually got to say, right, I've got to prove to you now why you're having faith in me. Aidan, obviously come to you, get you involved. With Luke Shaw, right now, obviously, his form, a lot of people are saying, obviously, for the England team, he should be the #1 left back, which I think right now on form is true. Do you
100%.
think he's the best left back in the league, or would you even go to say right now, best left back in Europe on form?
Well, no. And the reason why I say that is because
man just said no. I love it.
but you know the thing is though, I'm not gonna be like say he's like one of the best because a lot of the same people that will say Shaw is one of the best left backs in Europe now would say, yeah, well, Pogba's form's only been for a few months, and I'm going to keep consistent. You need to have consistency. Luke Shaw, yeah, he's been incredible, but it's been about 10 weeks. There's been loads of times, bruv, do you remember Dimitri Payet had a season, and then what's he doing now? So you have to, at least a season I'd have to have before I can start saying he's the best left back in the league. I don't think I'm going to start saying that. If you're talking about on form, yeah, he's probably one of the best left backs. But consider for 6 years odd, he hasn't been good. He's been really, really bad. So I don't want to say that sort of to bring the mood down, but I can't say he's the best left back in the league yet. I've always said in terms of ability, he's incredible. Before his leg break, there's this technique that he does, Reguilon does, and Bale does, and it's dinking it round someone and using your pace in some way. People like Rashford, they don't use their pace in that sort of way. It's very hard to master that technique of just kicking it forward and chasing it. And then after the leg break, he didn't really do it and he didn't kick on. But I think he's really kicked on now, but I just need to see it consistently. I think on the ball, he's ridiculously composed. I remember that versus Liverpool when he just chested the ball down and then Cruyff turned away from Salah. Stuff like that. Like, that is hard. It's not something you could teach like that. And I also think he said, with Mourinho and Ole, some players react well to get out, you're out of my club, you better perform or you're done. Some players react well. Like Ndombele reacted well to that Mourinho treatment. Some people, they need an arm around them. And Shaw said it earlier. He said, yeah, before Ole said it, no one believed in me. But Ole now believes in me. So I think he's been incredible. I think he's in everything that I felt when I talk about a player's ability but not performing, he can be. But I need to see it for the rest of the season and then a little bit into the next before I can start saying he's in Robertson. Because Robertson's been doing that for 2-3 years.
That's true.
He's sick right now. He's sick. On form, 100%. He's one of the best left backs in Europe, 100%. But not intrinsically, if that makes sense, just yet.
You want to see it on and for I suppose what you're speaking is sense really, because when you look at the best left backs, right? I know we want to go way back. We look at Evra and Ashley Cole battle for years. Yeah. They were on top for, I'm going to say 7 years at least.
Every season. Dennis Irwin as well.
And say again,
Dennis Irwin is extremely slept on because he's extremely slept on, innit? Man, right foot, left foot, free kicks, penalties, rarely injured. Like people really.
I don't actually remember Dennis Irwin ever make a mistake. I can't actually remember one mistake from him. He was
that good quality.
True, and exactly there. Look at the category of defenders we're looking at, and the ones that are like elite, and you want to talk best in Europe, they have to be consistent for a long time. So, Aiden, I have to say that I think you've hit the nail on the head. I'm just going to get through a few comments. People obviously tuning to Trafford Tunnel right now. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I've got a few shout outs for you guys. Aiden as well. Manny, good vibes. Big up everyone inside. Aiden Flawless, love that supporting the guests as well. That's what we all do, man. Supporting each other, it comes free, and that's what you've got to do, man. So big up Manny supporting. Got one here from Mark saying one could say Shaw's mentality was poor, but I can't complain because it's working. Yeah, he's really got the working mentality back, man. Question from Jerry: does Ollie deserve credit for Luke Shaw? Oh, Jerry, if I did just miss that, obviously I was speaking on Ollie saying I think he does. I think the man management side of Ollie is probably his best trait, if I'm totally honest. And Luke Shaw's responded. It's got to be a sort of a hand-in-hand relationship. He's giving him the job like at work. Now you've got to prove why you got the job, and that's what he's doing. We've got Daps here in the comments saying big up Flawless. Obviously done the Chew the Fat show for people. If you want to know more about Flawless away from the football, make sure you watch the Chew the Flat show. And more comments here. I'll get through them as I go through. But man, I think that's a great comment on Luke Shaw from everyone there getting their piece in. And what I'll do, I'm going to stay with the back five, and we're going to go on to Dean Henderson because he's the keeper. Obviously, was at Sheffield United last year. He done well at Sheffield United, but it's weird because it's a different type of team when you're playing at Sheffield United. Sheffield United are a team that are going to concede shots. They're not expected to win every game. You play at Man United, you want to be winning trophies. One mistake, and you're sort of all over Twitter on your reactionaries. You know what people are like nowadays. It's a different type of pressure. But what's impressed me the most about Dean Henderson, and I think I looked at the game against City on the weekend because I thought that was his biggest test so far. And what we haven't seen from De Gea, and I'll let you guys get your comments on it, is the commanding of the area. De Gea, brilliant goalkeeper over the years, shot stopping wise. I look at the game against Everton when we had Van Gaal and like he pulled out some great saves from like Oviedo in the last minutes and stuff. But I feel like Manchester United, every time we concede a corner or free kick, I'm nervous because I'm like, De Gea never commands his area. He stops start. Just makes you a bit nervous. And Henderson on Sunday was coming out and claiming things. And I was like, finally, like the way he comes out and claims the ball and then releases it even for the second goal for Luke Shaw. That's all Henderson. Yeah. It's a big talking point at the moment. Obviously with him, De Gea's had obviously a kid in Spain at the moment. Is it his time to stake a claim for number one spot? And Aidan, I'm going to come to you first. I'm going to reverse it.
Okay. Yeah, no. Do you know what the thing is? Yeah, I was actually watching a show today talking about it. I think the thing about De Gea is, I think his 17-18 season, obviously, I think it was one of the best seasons ever from a keeper I've ever seen. Like, obviously, I'm quite young, but I thought it was ridiculous. But I think there's a lot of elements, actually, that fooled us into thinking he was a more better all-round keeper than it was. Because if you actually think about the traits of a keeper, what do they need? They need to command their box, they need to be good on the ball, they need to be leaders, and they need to be a good shot stopper. There's like a few of the key traits. The only thing De Gea was required to do in that 17-18 season was be a good shot stopper. We didn't play out the back, so he didn't need to play out the back well. He didn't need to command his box because we always played ridiculous amount of people on the back. He didn't need to be a leader because we already had leaders. And I think now that he's being asked to do that, not just shot stopping, you're seeing his weaknesses. Because De Gea's weaknesses aren't his shot stopping; they're the things that he doesn't have. He's a good analogy. He's like Wan-Bissaka. He's incredible at shot stopping. Wan-Bissaka is incredible at one-on-one defending.
Yeah.
Overall, now when we're trying to play expansive, look at what Wan-Bissaka is. He was good last season, but now we're trying to play expansive. You're seeing his deficiencies, and it's the same with De Gea. I think personally, now he's being asked to do more. You're seeing those deficiencies. For example, I don't think Henderson, shot stopper, is a better keeper than De Gea. I don't think he is. But he's got the basics that a modern keeper needs. Commands his box, is a leader, can play out the back. De Gea can't do any of that. So it's almost like he's not a better shot stopper, but as long as he can do the basics well and he can be decent at shot stopping, that's all you need, really.
So
do you know what I mean?
What do you think it is? Do you think United's style of play has changed? It's now not suiting De Gea, or do you think De Gea himself just football's moving a bit like Mourinho with management? When people say football's moving on from him, what do you think it is?
I think it's a bit of both, really. I think that De Gea, when you think about De Gea, you think of shot stopping. You don't think of commanding the box. You don't think of grabbing the ball. You don't think of playing out the back. Everything that we're expecting keepers to do now, he can't do. And I think Henderson's just a bit more of a modern keeper, really. And I think now, when you're being peppered with shots, it's a lot easier to have confidence and making saves. But like Henderson versus Crystal Palace, he had nothing to do that whole game. One save to make, and then he made it. So, Do you know what I mean? It's like I think De Gea's a better shot stopper, but Henderson's a better all-round keeper. But it's like Wan-Bissaka. As soon as you ask him to play expansive, you see his little deficiencies. But I think what people do is they see Wan-Bissaka defensively and blow up his whole footballing ability like De Gea. They see his shot stopping and say he's a better keeper overall, when actually he's just an incredible shot stopper. But he's not very good at catching the ball or leading, if that makes sense. But I like both of them, really. I think Henderson's just a better long-term project. That's
okay, I like it. You've left it in a good position for flawless here, because I think Aidan's kind of with me in sense of like commanding his area. It's refreshing to see Henderson catching the ball, coming out, claiming it. Well, but obviously you've been around watching football for a long time. You've seen De Gea coming from when he was rough and tumbling and getting bullied to what he is now. What are you feeling about United moving forward? What they need to do?
Yeah, you touched on a lot of points, Tyrone, that I was going to make in regards to him not commanding his box. Like, come and catch the ball in it. To me, if the ball's within the 6-yard box, within the width of the goal, why is my keeper not coming to catch or punch you? Like, I always look at, say, for instance, the goal we conceded against Newcastle. Is it Maguire's fault because it's a poor header? Yes. But my centre-half has got a free header within the 6-yard box, pretty much in the centre of the goal. Why is my keeper not off his line coming to catch that? Maguire is in the 6-yard box. It's not like he's being challenged. It's a free header. Yes, Maguire makes the mistake, and that's on Maguire, but I'm looking at my goalkeeper like, you could have helped prevent that. And I think if that's Henderson, he comes and catches that and we don't concede to Newcastle. Same again with the goal we just scored in the Manchester derby. I think if that's the Hearing goal, we don't score that goal. And if we don't score that goal, that game could go a completely different way. De Gea was great in his time, but there's no room for sentiment in football. Yes, he was an incredible Man United. There's no room for sentiment. And he seems to have gone back to what he was originally in terms of being bullied. You know what I'm saying? The Sheffield United game sticks out. There was a game we played away at Anfield, and it was given as a foul, but Van Dijk clattered into him, and Liverpool scored.
Yeah,
but
I remember that.
He's coming to punch the ball, and he's not looking at the ball. So if you're coming out like this to punch the ball and you're not looking at it, that's a lack of bravery from me. So
that is
kind of like with Henderson. I don't know how good he is, but one thing I've said, like, I want to see him this season. Let's give him a run now to find out how good he is. Because if he's not good enough currently, we have a major problem. Because then we got De Gea, who's the whole flow and that. You get me? Bar for bar.
I love that, Soups. Big up Soups, the producer, man, for never a foul.
Yeah, man, like pretty much. And yeah, Henderson needs a run. Let's find out if he's good enough. I want to see him play from now to the end of the season. Because so far, this is just to me, he's passing the test in terms of being good enough. And it's like, can you improve? Yes. But so far, so good, because I've had it up to here with De Gea. I didn't want him to be the number one at the start of this season, but then his form was good. His form was good, so I'm like, okay, you turned it around, but then he slowly started to creep in and started making mistakes, and I'm like, yeah, I've had enough. So it's like, let's see how good Henderson is.
Okay. I'm just going to put this comment here, Aiden. It made me laugh, actually. He said, man like Aiden Jota. I don't know if you had that.
Got that nickname still, bro. I've had that since I've been on the United stand. I've had it.
Yeah, it's true. You know why? You do look like Jota hard.
Man. Do you know what? I don't even look like Jota. It's just on the camera. I look like Jota so much. I swear down.
Yo, I bet when you play football, you play the same as him as well and that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
top and that. Well. Yeah, see, you're wing up with Jota and that. I'm telling you.
United need a right winger, but now we're gonna get to that as well. Now, big up everyone in the comments. I know I can't get them all up right now, but yes, great show so far. Flawless. We've got Aiden, we've got Arbiz. I'm gonna come to Arbiz. There's a question. I can't find it now, but I saw it when I was whizzing past. Yeah, and I wanted to ask you. So, Biz, obviously, a lot of people want Henderson in.
Yeah,
but he's come through the academy and obviously from Manchester and all this. He's had a few good performances for United. Hasn't fully been tested yet, like these lot said, but they want to see him in for a longer time. Do you think there's a bit of sentiment there that, like, because he's from the academy, because he's from Manchester, he gets praised more easily, or people just want to throw him in more quickly? And also, I want to hear your thoughts on the situation as well.
No, not really, because we've had quite a few keepers that have come through the ranks that haven't even got a first team appearance. But with Henderson so far, I actually don't mind him. But like Flawless is saying, I have to give me a couple more games, like right to the end of the season, then I can make my judgment. But I've noticed since he's been in, we've been able to organise better as a unit from set pieces. Teams aren't coming from when we're having corners, when De Gea's in, teams are just raiding our 6-yard box. Like, do you know what I mean?
Look at this stat here. Just to look at this stat. I got this stat earlier, actually. So I'll let you get back to your point. But even with I looked at a stat from crosses. Our best performances from a goalkeeper were Henderson, and I think it was against Sociedad, City, and Palace. So that shows obviously coming out and claiming the ball. But continue, my brother.
Yeah. So from set pieces, I'm definitely seeing. It's definitely helping the back four out, and they looked more comfortable on Sunday with him there. But the only thing though is I don't have confidence in English goalkeepers. I haven't seen a good goal. I haven't seen a good English goalkeeper since David Seaman. And the last time United had an English keeper was Ben Foster, and he came in for Van der Sar because Van der Sar was messing about for a couple of games. And then when Van der Sar, like Ben Foster, I think he played in the Manchester derby and fucked up for Tevez.
Man.
And you remember, and he fucked up for Craig Bellamy's goal near the end.
Yep.
Lucky enough, Owen got the winner. But
great moment, by the way.
Yeah. But he was never seen again after that because I don't know, but that's just my point on English goalkeepers, isn't it? I'm not too sure on them. But so far, what I'm seeing of Henderson, man, he's being commanding, coming out, he's catching balls and that. But like I said, I have to wait. I have to give me a couple more games, and then I can make my full mind up about him. And plus, with goalkeepers, they tend to get better with age. So and they last a lot longer as well. So you see some keepers go up to their 39, 40. So we never know, man. There could be a time De Gea could turn it around. But for now, it's looking a bit peak for him.
Well, that will leave me on. I don't mind who wants to go first, but with the goalkeeping situation, do you think, obviously, with De Gea's future? So, for example, the next, I don't know, could be say guaranteed 3 or 4 games. I think De Gea is going to be in Spain for. If Henderson does do well, which touchwood we all want him to, and De Gea comes back, for me, there's no reason why Ollie should change it back to De Gea. If something's not broken, and don't change it. You don't need to change it. One thing that's impressive about Henderson is his vocal is the vocal side of his game. I think do you clock it when you're on Sky, and you're watching, even if you don't have the crowd on, you can hear him barking orders. And do you know what? That just helps Maguire and Lindelof. They're behind him. If he can see the whole pitch. So that just, I don't hear De Gea doing that. And I'm not trying to say, De Gea should now start doing it. I think that should become natural to goalkeepers. Do you think if we get a chance, I'll go to Flawless first for this one. Do you think if we get a chance to sell De Gea, say if PSG come in or something like that, because obviously De Gea is about 30 now, do you think we should just cash in whether or not he's playing well or not anyway? Because it might
cash in. I'm saying cash in. Yes, cash in. Let's see how good Henderson is. Because I think, again, by the point where cashing in, say it's this summer, we're going to know if Henderson's good enough or not. But even if Henderson isn't good enough, that means we have to go and sign a goalkeeper. So cash in on De Gea and go and sign a goalkeeper. Because it's like, when is the last time De Gea actually had a good season? Like, overall. We're having issues with him this season. He made a load of clangers the season before. I think the season before he wasn't good. So we're saying 3 seasons in a row, De Gea's not been good enough. What we giving him for now? Like any other position, any other player, if it wasn't De Gea and what he's done for us before, we're having a different conversation. Martial's just having one poor season this season, and people weigh him out.
And people weigh him out.
People don't have the same energy for De Gea, who's been poor for 3 seasons now. Also tried to leave. People forget People talk about attitude and all this rubbish, but when Van Gaal was here, he dropped De Gea because he said De Gea's head wasn't in it. Let Oli come out tomorrow and say that I'm dropping Martial because his head's not in it. People want his head on a spike. Look at his attitude and all this. De Gea don't look happy, and all this. So I'm just want people to keep the same energy. So cash in on him. I would say definitely.
Okay, Aiden, what do you think of that? Big up Mark in the comments, by the way. Last time I heard De Gea was in the 6th one when he screamed at Sean.
Mark made a good point about De Gea. I think his coach, the coach that he had when the LVG was there.
Goalkeeping coach.
Emiliano Martinez he bought in. I think something Martinez or something random. Because he looks like the Aston Villa keeper.
Yeah, I think before he signed his new deal, a part of the contract was he can have his own goalkeeping coach. But when he signed his new deal, he went, and then that's when his form dipped again. And that comes back to
Alvarez. Alvarez was the coach.
That comes back to and we're talking about Shaw and mentality. That comes back to De Gea's mentality. So it's kind of like, to me, I'm like, if someone like a PSG came in, he's had 3 seasons where he's not been up to the mark. Cash in on him.
Okay. Arbiz knows ball here as well. A little comment here from Luciano. Aiden, what are you doing? Cashing in or are you keeping him?
I think this season's the last season to see. The thing is, I always have a hesitation because, my head tells me I think Henderson's the long-term replacement. That's my head tells me. But I also think, I don't want to be in that position where he does a good season and you get rid of De Gea and then De Gea shells out at another club and then Henderson has an iffy season. So I think, to be honest, this is a decision that hasn't got a definitive yes/no answer. It's something that the club is going to have to figure out. I think we have to realize, the club, they're paid the money to do this. They're the one with all the money at the club. They've got the goalkeeping coaches. They've got the football people. They should be making this decision. I'm just a fan. Don't have a yes or no answer. I have an inclination, but I think this is the time when the club has to make a clever decision. Yeah. And it just comes to the club. But to be honest, even I saw we were linked to another keeper, like a completely different one.
Well, to be fair, that's why I brought this topic up. We've been linked to keepers this afternoon, actually, this evening.
I don't really get it. I don't know why that's happening, but it's an interesting point for us. But Martial's been questionable this season. He's been poor. But how long has De Gea been bad for? How long has he actually been bad for?
That's my point.
So I think, to be honest, if I'm honest, I just think De Gea is an extinct goalkeeper. I think he's a world class shot stopper when he's at his best. But the rest of his attributes, they're average. They're literally average. And someone said, why bring up the Wan-Bissaka analogy? It's just because it's the first thing
I see that.
It's literally, it's a good analogy, I think. He's incredible 1v1 defending. I think maybe the defender in your 1v1. But everything else is just average. So it makes everything else look better than it is. When it's really not good. That's just my opinion. I just think it's not a clear answer, but that's what I think. Do you know what I mean?
I think the next couple of months will tell a big story for United with this situation, because there's obviously reports already that Henderson will want to leave if he's not number 1. I think if he does have a good stint right now, we've got to keep with him. And I think it's like you said, the club has just got it's a 50-50 decision. But with De Gea 30, he's done the thing is De Gea going to get any better? Has he done everything he can for Manchester United? I think he has. So I think personally he needs a new challenge for himself. He probably wants to be closer to his family now he's had a newborn. And let's get Henderson in, man, and build for the future. What we're going to do now is going to go into the man behind me. I know people always comment about the pillow in the chat, but people, you want the pillow.
Great pillow, man. Great pillow.
The pillow remains because he's back. It's Anthony Martial. Obviously, this weekend, I'm going to just speak. I'll try and speak shortly on it and let you lot get into the main points. But I was surprised. 2:30 or 3:30 when the team news got announced, Martial passed the fitness test straight in the starting 11. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because, like literally the form hasn't been great. We all know what he can do ability-wise. We all know. But to throw him back in the starting 11, I was like, if we lose, Ollie's setting him up in my head to be scapegoated already because we don't create nothing. Oh, Martial. And I thought, otherwise, he's going to have the game of his life all this season. And to pass a late fitness test and to play like that against the so-called best centre-back partnership in the league, in Diaz, who I think has conceded probably about 4 goals in like 13 games or what else. He ran them ragged for someone who's had a knock and had a fitness test, dropping in the pockets, positional play, link up 1-2. The only thing I could criticize him on is that the easiest thing he should have done was score, and he missed the chance. But do you know what I mean? If he scores that, it's a 10 out of 10 performance. I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and say, oh, like he's the best in this and that. But do you think that performance is start for Martial's season? I'll come to you first on it.
Yeah, you know what? I hope so, because obviously we're still in 2 competitions left. Got a couple, 10 games left to go. Yeah, I want to see him try and get a couple more goals and get a good couple more performances under his belt. But yeah, it's good to see him play well at the weekend. I just hope he can kick on from this, to be honest, because it's not been a good season so far for him. I had high hopes. I had him to hit nearly 30 goals in all competitions this season. And I think he's capable of doing that. He showed it last season with a makeshift United team on the first half. And in the second half of the season, when we got couple players back with Pogba and stuff, he was on fire. And I think me and Ty were saying, like, when United are at their best, Martial is one of the best players like in the front 4. Like, he looks after possession well. Yep. Don't give it away cheaply. Do you know what I mean? Like, the way he was Diaz and Stones are just bouncing off him.
When he turned him the halfway line, I'm like dashing the remote.
Man, it was good to see. It was emotional. Like he
dropped the freshest freestyle. I was gassed.
It was emotional, but yeah, it's just his finishing, man. And the thing is, what the maddest thing is, that's normally his best thing about his game is his finishing. It's been ice cold since he's been at United, but he just doesn't get enough chances. And I think that comes down to obviously the tactics and the style of play. So, but yeah, man, for Martial's from Sunday, it couldn't have been a better game for him to come back and put that performance in. Like I said to Ty, I'm emotional about that performance. Like, bro, it really brought a tear to my eye, bro, because everybody wants him out, and some people don't think about getting players out when you've got a board that don't know how to multitask. You know what I mean? It's like when it comes to we're going to be leaving ourselves more work to do in the summer when we already know our board can't do the work for the basics anyway.
We sell him. We're just needing more players than we already need. Flawless. What do you think on the Martial situation? I know that I'm gonna guess that you're a bit of a Martial fan. Hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm a Martial fan. Of course, man. Of course. Got
to be done.
Abi said, ice cold baller. Has he been poor this season? Yes, but the criticism of him is over the top. When you look at, we don't create anything for our number 9s, and people don't like to. When Cavani or Greenwood play up top, and they're both 2 quality strikers, and we're poor, it's lack of service. But when Martial plays up front and plays for, it's Martial isn't good enough. It's like, I just want people to be consistent and keep the same energy. Our number 9s average 4 touches in the opposition box. What are you supposed to do with that? And for people who are like, 4's not that much, blah, 4's plenty, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not, because I got the stats. Shout out to my guy, Statman Baines. I asked him, I said, how many touches in the opposition box does Sterling get, who is the left winger for Manchester City? And he told me, he said he gets 8. So he averages a double the amount Martial does. And people might be like, 4's not that many. But if you get 4 more touches on the box over a 10-game period, that's 40 touches. Over a 20-game period, that's 80. Over a 30-plus season, that's over 100 more touches Sterling is getting in the box than Martial. How many goals that could be? How many wins that could be the difference between winning free
winning games,
competitions and winning
definitely winning
zero.
games and losing games.
Yeah,
Trust
this is my
me, oh
point.
my days.
That's my point. But people
Yeah.
don't, because it's Martial and people don't like him because of his attitude and all this nonsense and his body language. People criticize him over. Does he deserve criticism? Yeah, I've said this. Ollie should have dropped him in the past because his performances went up to scratch. But that's another criticism I have of Ollie. And then when people back him, I'm like, all right, if a manager who I rate continues to play a player I don't rate, when do you start looking at the manager? Surely the manager's at fault to continue to play and not get the best out of him. And this was the guy who was our joint top goal scorer last season. So yeah, when it comes to Martial, he did everything he needed to do in that game apart from score. His hold-up play was second to none. It's a 95% success rate. He had a 100% pass success rate in the final third. Yeah. That means he didn't give the ball away in that. The ball stuck to him when he controlled it and he was flicking it up and he flicked it off to Bruno on the side. That was Martial. And if he would have scored, I think that's just a confidence thing because a confident Martial slots that. And people act like confidence is not a thing with footballers because you earn a certain amount of money. And it's like, no, confidence can affect players. But hopefully with that performance, it's a kick on. But again, with the system we have, what service is he getting? You know what I'm saying? Because even the chance he got there, it's not like it was a great through ball or something like that. It just happened and the penalty won the same again. Like you're living off scraps and we have players who are capable. We have players who are capable of producing more chances for him, definitely. Because our attacking 100%. Players are good. I say this all the time. The reason why we are the way where we are is because of our individual brilliance, literally in the attacking third. But it is what it is. But yeah, hopefully Martial kicks on.
Yeah, no, great take there. I love that. And I think with your point there about chances, I'm going to get to Aiden as well, because I know he's got a lot to say. He's been backing Martial for a long time. But I think styles make fights, and City played into our hands, really. We're always good. I think that's the third time. Well, the first time our manager has beaten City away in the league 3 times in a row. First time ever.
3 times.
Like,
mad.
Styles make fights, and they set up for us perfectly. I think the goal did help us early on because it helped calm us down. But we always get a great against them in the counter attack. But what stood out for me was your point there, and big up Statman Baines. I'm going to get him on the show as well very soon. Yeah, big up Statman. Is that keeping the ball against City when you have it in them final third moments is very important. And like you said, the ball stuck to Martial like glue, because what could have happened is, for example, I think when we played Arsenal at home and they beat us 1-0, we played in a diamond, we played Rashford and Greenwood, but the ball wouldn't stick. Gabriel just had them all game. And the thing is, it's like pinball. It seems like the defenders give you the ball, so give them a little bit of a breather. And because the ball sticks in Martial and he moves it around, he allows us to build possession and we actually can just get further up the pitch. So I think that's a great point you made there, Flawless. Aiden, like I know you've been talking about United, lack of creating chances. Martial, his goals last season are all-round play. This is your time, man, to shine. I'm not even going to ask you any questions. Just vent what you want to get off your chest, my man.
Bro, I can't lie, man. Martial. Do you know what the thing is? There's different types of football fans. I'm one of those man that is a bit of an eye test man. I know people will tell me I'm an eye test merchant. I know I am, but when I watch Martial, and I mean this seriously, there's not many players in football that when you watch them, they look like they've got no one around them and they do these skills and tricks that you only do 5-a-side at Power League. Like, who in world football really does stuff like kick-ups in the halfway line? Who does that? No one does it. It's a rare
against
commodity.
a high press Pep Guardiola, man.
Against the best team in the country. Against the best defensive team in the country.
And the thing I always think is, if people aren't getting GA nowadays, people don't notice the nuances of their play. Martial's been doing this from day. I think from November to December, he had a little bit of a purple patch where he wasn't even, his overall game was bad. But I think his overall game has been great for ages. People are noticing this now. I've known that Martial's technical fundamentals are some of the best in the league for ages. I don't know why people are just starting to notice this now. And my issue is, if you're going to get onto Martial, tell me one player, and I've asked for all of this, tell me one player that for 18 months was good for Man United apart from De Gea. Since Fergie left.
Woo! Good point.
You can't even name one. It's like Herrera's the only guy. So what, you're going to get onto Martial? And to be fair,
he doesn't set the ball.
He wasn't even good. He wasn't even that good.
He was solid. Yeah, when Aiden asked me that, I'm still trying to come with
Martial. Every time Martial's been played in his position, in his left wing position when he's had a lot of service, and now last season, he's been good. It's like people don't understand. If you put diesel in a car, is it going to drive? No, it's not. You put petrol in it and it starts working. It's this basic logic. These guys, I don't know why they don't understand it. I genuinely feel Martial, I think people have said, what's Martial's position? I know what his position is. It's a false 9. is a false nine that drops down, picks the ball up. He's a false nine with very, very good finishing. That's what it is. Because people expect him to make these number 9 traditional runs, get on the end of headers. He's not that, but he's not a left winger. The only reason why he looks like a left winger is because he dribbles well. That's the only reason why he looks like a winger. For me, he's a false nine, and if you put him in a system when he knows how to take up those pockets like yesterday, I genuinely think he can be one of the best players in the world.
It's like when you watch him for France, for France, he's amazing. And the space that he's finding himself in with Griezmann and Ben Yedder, of all people, I was watching him with, and the space and the pockets that he was getting in between, the link-up play between him and Griezmann. That's why I couldn't, when we got Sanchez, I was so pissed off because I was like, we had Griezmann to come in, and that would have been the perfect player for someone like Martial to play off.
Yeah, I agree with you. Do you know what the funny thing is? Just a random one, just, I don't know, a quick 30 seconds or hands up. People, obviously, you're tuning in to Trafford Tunnel, by the way. Let me just drop it in. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. We're over 600 subscribers now, on the way to 1,000. Make sure you're following DJ RBs on Twitter, United Aiden, and Sarcasm City TV. Flawless has got plenty of shows. So, yeah, man, make sure you're liking and subscribing his content as well. Just a quick one. Obviously, the way we see Martial, we all agree that he picks up the space in the pocket so well, keeps the ball so well, links up the play. Do you think he could actually, funny enough, maybe... it's a wild take, but a question.
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, swap him and Bruno around.
Yeah, I think he's a better... Honestly, I'm being serious, In terms of the 10, in terms of link-up, he's a better 10 than Bruno. In terms of link-up, looking after the ball, if anyone's clipping this, I'll be clear what I'm saying. In terms of linking up the play, retaining possession, holding up the ball, and linking play, he's better. Do you know what he reminds me of?
Sunday.
You know what's mad?
Those 10s from like 10 years ago that would sit in front of the back four and wait to thread a pass. They pick up the ball. He's very, very good at it. He's very good at it. If anything, Bruno is more of a goal scorer than Martial. Martial is a better sort of link playing 10 than Bruno.
And to add on,
it's literally true.
And to add on to that point as well, when you look at the average position maps, Bruno is normally higher than Martial. He's normally higher. Bruno basically plays like as a striker, and that adds into the Martial service. If our number 10 is ahead of our number 9, we have Rashford one side who's not really a creator like that. Greenwood the other side who's not really a creator like that. Both quality players, but not really creators. Who is creating for our number 9? If our number 10 is ahead of our number, but people don't want to have these conversations and that because it's Martial. Because if it's Rashford up front or Cavani up front, no one's talking about, right, why is Rashford not scoring? Why is Cavani any number 9?
Could you just imagine, Flawless? Could you imagine if Martial played in that 0-0 draw against Palace? Oh my God.
Oh, slaughtered. Well, that was the mad. You know what was crazy about that? I said the Crystal Palace game was a turning point because there was no normally when United lose, have a poor performance. My timeline is on fire with Ollie in, Ollie out. People who are Ollie in very quiet. People who are Ollie in talking about, right, if this continues, we need to look at Ollie. And I looked at it and I said, that's because the usual scapegoats ain't there. Pogba and Martial are the two
yes, man.
Neither of them played.
They weren't there.
And we hadn't scored in 5 hours of football or something like that. So people are looking at it like...
As soon as Pogba went out, we stopped scoring.
Yeah,
like
literally.
We stopped scoring.
But as soon as Pogba went out, that Everton game went out the window.
Facts.
We were bossing Everton.
You know what? It's bad. I don't know how people on this timeline saying sell him, and this and that. As soon as he goes, us four will be laughing at them because they'll be the same man that will be like, "Oh, we shouldn't have sold Pogba." Shut up, man. Honestly, even as a host, I'm trying to stay calm, but
bruv, honestly, tell me one player apart from Messi, I'm gonna say, that is as complete, not good, complete as Pogba.
In that, in their position, you can do everything, man.
Short passing, long range passing,
defend, long pass, short pass, sprint. That strong IQ. He's got everything.
Yeah,
everything you want.
Yeah, I'm hoping that obviously we can get him back and playing well, man. And lastly, I just wanted to say one comment on Martial. It's funny because me and Biz were having a little conversation on the phone yesterday, and when he signed, he done very well under Van Gaal. In that first season, considering he was like 19 or whatever then, and then obviously Mourinho comes in, takes his shirt off him, and then puts him onto the left wing because Ibra signed. But if you remember, when he was having that spell in the Mourinho, I think it was the start of his first full season, I maybe believe, he got Player of the Month in, I think, September, and then November, December, and then Sanchez got signed. Do you remember? Yeah. So I was in Amsterdam. It's funny. I was in Amsterdam watching the game, and we scored again. We beat Burnley 1-0, and Martial scored. Remember, like Lukaku sprays it out to him. And then, bang, crossbar in. Next week, Sanchez is signed. Martial
he scored he scored in 3 games back to back.
Yeah,
like,
back to back.
absolute
Yeah,
screamers.
he had 11
Top-
goals. He had like 9 or 10 goals by
Yeah,
December.
Yeah, exactly. And then you sign Sanchez, and then all of a sudden Martial shunted out, and then all of a sudden Mourinho leaves. Ollie's a manager, like we said with the Luke Shaw effect, comes in, puts an arm around him, says, "Right, here's your number 9 shirt, repay me," and he gets 23 goals last season. So when people are now saying, "Oh, he should be sold after half," and by the way, let me mention, we're only about, say, 2/3 of the way through this season. People are so quick to forget last season, but also, if he plays well next season, that would have been 2 good seasons in 3. So his contract runs through 2024. People will be silly to try and say that we need to sell Martial. And I hope that on Sunday, that performance reminded people, like us lot have been saying, who are Martial fans, of what he can bring. Because I believe that if we put our front 5, and that's Fernandes, not Fernandes, but Cavani, Greenwood, Martial, Rashford, Daniel James, and so forth, on a piece of paper right now, and they all play to the best of their ability. For me, Martial, like Adam said, is the most complete player. Hold up. Do you know, I don't even have to justify it. The most complete. So hopefully, this is the start for him to kick on. I know the Champions League is starting in 10 minutes. I'm going to go on to my last topic now. It's been a great podcast, by the way. I'm loving the energy, man. It's sick. It's sick. Summer transfer news. Right. So I see a little link earlier actually saying Christian Pulisic randomly is not very happy with his situation at Chelsea. United are one of the clubs linked, and that was Daily Mail saying that. Of course, they're going to throw our name out there. Click, click, click. But we've been linked to players. I'm not going to talk about the centre-back situation. I'm not going to talk about the defensive midfield situation. We know we need reinforcements in attack. Whether we're going to sign a striker or not, I don't know. Whether we're going to sign a right winger, I don't know. But we need one. So I'm going to go to Aiden first. What would you prefer Manchester United to go for in the summer? A right winger, a striker, and I want to know your reasons why. People in the comments, by the way, get your comments in. I'm interested to hear what you think. Striker or right winger for United this summer?
I think there's a lot of dynamics at play here, to be honest. I think you've got to think, if you want a striker or a winger, if you want a striker, is your midfield going to be functional? If you want wingers creating chances, are you going to have a 9? Liverpool don't have a 9, but they do completely fine because they had fullback width and Firmino dropped into the pockets. They had wide strikers. It's about how you do it. You don't have to have a midfield that scores. You don't have to have a 9 that scores a ridiculous amount of goals. It depends on how your system works and how you're going to play it. So it depends. If we have goals from midfield and we have fullback width and we have wide strikers, do we necessarily need a Haaland type 9? No, we don't. Oh, if we don't have that, do we need a Haaland type 9? Yes, we 100% do. So it depends, really. I think Sancho's great. I think Sancho would be sick. But I don't even think we need a player that creative on the right. With our midfield creativity, we could easily have 2 wide strikers that cut in a little bit and have fullback width. So it depends how you want to play it. My options that I'd like, Sancho I really like. Dembele I think is ridiculous. But
which Dembele is that? Is that the one at Atletico Madrid?
Ousmane Dembele.
Oh, Ousmane, yeah, big fan.
I'm telling you, he's one of my favourite players in the world. I love Dembele, but I don't think it depends on the Barcelona contract situation if he's fit. But for me, if we're going to get a 9, we need a system that supplies him with chances. Because Haaland will also come and score goals, but he won't score as many as he should. If we do not have the fullbacks that provide width and the midfield to pride in creativity, and we need a DM to let Pogba go forward, and we need fullback width. So it depends. Do you know what I mean? I'd lean towards a right winger, but it depends. It depends how you want to play it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Biz, I'm going to go into you on this one. You can be the middleman for this. He's kind of sitting on the fence. He's kind of unsure, but it's not unsure. It depends on the system, he's saying. For you, what takes Man United to the next level in the summer? A winger or a striker?
I think, again, it's got to be a winger because we've got nothing coming from the right. Look how long it's been since we've had a proper right winger. You could probably say Antonio Valencia. So, yeah, we need a proper winger and we need a flying...
That's true, you know. Raw! Man just kicked the ball down the touchline as well.
It's been that long. And like Aiden was saying, like, you don't need a number 9 that scores 30 goals a season. United won the league with fucking Louis Saha up front. People don't remember that.
Hard, man. No.
I'm not even dissing Saha. Saha was Man United's Player of the Year 2006 calendar year before Ronaldo kicked on. Yeah. So for me, like you just like Aiden says, man, we need to get that tactic and style of playing of having the overlapping fullbacks, man, because that's what United is all about. And we can get like Ethan Laird to come in and play as a fullback and get a proper right winger. Like the chances that we're going to be creating, man, we don't need a number 9. Like You know what I mean? We got Rashford
So
who
do
can
you
score
think
goals.
though, with the overlapping fullbacks, just quickly, do you think Wan-Bissaka's that guy on the right, or do you actually genuinely think he won't ever be that guy, or do you think what?
The thing is, I didn't think Luke Shaw would be that guy.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
tell you, I
And
get
Luke
exactly
Shaw
what
is
you're
looking
saying.
like that guy right now. So
Everyone zoomed in on you there.
You got a point still. I understand fully what you're saying. Fully.
Yeah.
To
what
be
you're
fair though,
saying.
Shaw's always the thing is though with Shaw. I think Shaw's always had technical fundamentals. Whether or not he's executed them in game situation correctly, I think Shaw's always had good technical fundamentals. For Wan-Bissaka, I don't think he does. And I feel like by the time you're 20, you're 18, 19, if your technical fundamentals aren't there, you're going to struggle a lot. And he's like almost 23, to be honest. I think always Shaw, to be fair to him, he's always that technical fundamental. His touch has always been good, stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. That's like Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, because I agree with you both on the fullbacks, like the marauding side, but it's just whether Wan-Bissaka can add that to the game, or like you said, Ethan Laird. Obviously, we live near Milton Keynes. He's flying for Milton. He's flying for MK Dons at the moment. So so carrying with your point, Biz, man.
Yeah, man. So like we've got to get that width in, man, because we just look lopsided all the time. Like Greenwood's done a job there. Daniel James can do a job only if we counter attacking. But like when we're looking to build up on play, we need these inverted wingers in like a proper right winger that knows what he's doing in. So yeah, it's got to be a right winger for me. Because if we get another 9, all right, we could get Haaland in, but is it just going to end up being another Zlatan, Lukaku, where they get a couple chances a game, but like a couple chances they're just feeding off scraps? We want them to have like countless, amount of chances every game, and like you said, we need the service. So for me, it's got to be a right winger.
What about you, Flawless? You've seen a lot of strikers. You've probably seen all the Van Nistelrooys, the Rooney's, the Haas,
seen all the top Donnies. Yeah. But Aiden made a lot of great points in regards to what you're trying to play and the system you're trying to play. And I have no faith in the manager to implement anything that Aiden said. I have zero faith in him implementing it. So whether we have a false 9 and you have inside forwards, or we go get a proper number 9 with 2 wide players. Me personally, I think we need a right winger simply because we don't have one who's good enough. Like Greenwood's quality, but he's a 9. I think Greenwood is quality, but he's a number 9. Dan James is not good enough. Diallo's only just got in, he's young. Yep. Who else do we have over there? So it's like go and sign a right winger just to give us another outlet, another crate. Imagine you add Sancho to this team. Sancho to me is the perfect fit. If Cavani does leave, number 7 fits him perfectly. You don't have to worry. He's played in England before. He's from here. You don't have to worry about him adapting. You can already see him linking up with the Mandem. You know what I'm saying? Ballers recognize ballers. Rashford, you get what I'm saying? And that Martial, Pogba, he fits it perfectly. Like certain times you see it, he fits it. And because that right side is free, there's no competition. You could see him big money move. All right, boom. So I would go and get Sancho, and he gives us a. He changes the whole dynamic of our team in regards to when opposition's coming up against us. It's not, all right, we need to stop Bruno or Rashford. Sancho's now in the mix and that. Their left back's now on it. And I also think he improves Wan-Bissaka because he takes the attack. He takes away Wan-Bissaka's attacking deficiencies. All Wan-Bissaka has to do now is, yes, I get what Aiden was saying about his technical fundamentals. Just be the decoy run. All you have to do is overlap.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen Gary Neville do that for years. All you have to do is don't worry about, because one thing about Wan-Bissaka, I would say is he's the only fullback that I see have to take on 2 men to get a crossing. If you look at Trent, when he's playing, he's crossing from deep. Robinson is crossing from deep. Wan-Bissaka is having to do drag backs.
Beckham used to do that.
Wan-Bissaka is having to do drag backs, try and do step overs, drop a shoulder to get in across of that. Like
everything he doesn't want to do.
Why is he the main outlet? He's trying to do all that. And I'm like, why are we making Wan-Bissaka? Because Luke Shaw doesn't have to do that on the other side. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't do that.
That's a very good point, man.
So with that, I reckon it improves him because it gives it makes Wan-Bissaka, it makes his job easier. Just be the decoy run. All you have to do is overlap. Sancho might pass you the ball, and all you have to do is do a Gary Neville and whip it. Gary Neville's a quality right back. He never had to take anybody on. Decoy run, whip it. And Wan-Bissaka, I think you can teach him how to cross. Why Gary Neville is on Sky Sports as a Manchester United legend, criticizing Wan-Bissaka is wild to me. Why is he not at Carrington teaching him how to cross? Who's the perfect guy to teach Wan-Bissaka? Is Gary Neville, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
It's because Sancho for me.
It's because he's got his nephew Harvey Neville coming up where he doesn't want to.
Wan-Bissaka as much. I hope he's teaching Harvey then, innit? Because why Gary Neville is not. I'm looking at
man like Harvey.
My boy JV said it. He was like, "Right, Wan-Bissaka is literally a good cross away from being Gary Neville," and I'm like, "That is spot on. If you add him across and you have a right winger in front of him, and you don't have to worry about skills, you'll just pass him the ball, touch it out your feet, and whip it. That's it."
Yeah, love that. Now, that's brilliant, man. I've got loads of tips to take away from this. Big up Jeremiah in the comments. Big up Suits, obviously there as well. Lucy, Mark, Umar, Rick. There's loads of you there, man. But don't worry, I'm getting through your comments, man. So I do appreciate it. I think it's a great debate, man. And I personally think we need a right winger. I think Sancho is funny because I'm quite a harsh critic of players, and I weren't interested in him last year. But I think this year I've just seen a different level of maturity to his game, and I think the way it is that he's not. I said this on another podcast, but he's not a winger. It's going to get the ball like Valencia and kick it past 4 man, and you'll think like he's going to dash the ball and run. He's more of a like combination winger. So he's going to come inside. He'll link with Bruno, play a little 1-2, and then like run in behind, and they'll dink it over the top, like. And that space, like you said, flawless, where he'll come in and occupy it, allows Wan-Bissaka to get down the right. And I don't want to be harsh on Wan-Bissaka yet because I want to see him when he's got that with him, like how Luke Shaw and Rashford do their thing. Rashford comes inside, Luke Shaw bombing down. Exactly what we'll see on the other side from with Sancho coming in. And I just think with Sancho, it just gives us that maturity in them sort of final third positions, because I love Bruno, right, and what he's done in all his numbers, but he's quite erratic at times. And I think
he's not cute with his passing.
Yeah, he's quite crap with his passing. And I just
think,
he needs someone around him, like you said, like pop the money. And I think that could be the difference between us sort of challenging for more trophies. I'm not going to say we win the league with just Sancho, but it puts us into a different sort of. I think it does take us to that extra little level that we just need right now. So it will be interesting with Sancho or Haaland. It looks like we're all. I was going to say the question. Yes, it looks like we're all Sancho right now. Is that right?
Yeah. But I'm not saying no to Haaland though.
Of course, bro. Of course, but you know what would happen with Haaland? If he came here, he'd bang in goals, but he wouldn't get as many as he should.
Do you think Aiden? Do you think he gets the service though?
He doesn't get. This is the myth where people are like just
standing there. For
our number 9 average 4 touches in the box in this season.
That's what I'm saying. He'd get goals, but he wouldn't get as many as he should. Like he'd get goals, and like a bad season for Haaland's probably like 20 league goals, but he should be getting 30, bro. He's perfect for the Prem. But you know what I mean? So
the worst thing about it for Manchester United right now, and I think this is what's going to happen in the summer. I think that because we don't want players like Sancho and Haaland to go to other clubs, I'm interested to see how we react to it. Because if they go to other clubs in the Premier League, for example, for me, we're falling behind. So do Manchester United make the move and have to go for one of them? We 100% do. Big up Jeremiah. I think we actually do. And it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Just to get final thoughts, I know I'm going to wrap it up in a second. AC Milan. I don't really like to do previews for games, but Europa League, I think we should go for it. I think it's a chance to win a trophy. Are you not confident we do them over 2 legs? I'll give you 20 seconds to answer. Biz, I'll come to you first.
I think we'll do Milan over 2 games, to be honest. I haven't watched much of Milan this season, but I think we got them, to be honest, man. Like Italian football for me it's not where it was, but I know Milan's having a great season so far, but I just feel like we'll have a bit too much for them.
Yeah, I like it. Hopefully Rashford's injury's not too bad. I haven't seen reports on how bad it is yet. If anyone knows,
he's out for the first leg.
Oh, he's out the first leg.
But I don't think he'd be
Rashford's out the first leg.
Yeah, he's out apparently.
Okay, there we go. Okay, that'll be interesting to see if we go with. I'll go with Martial. I'll probably go Dan James and Greenwood. Then
I think they're the only 3. Is Matt fit?
I'd play I played Mateo Diallo, to be honest.
Yeah, Aiden, I'm with you, but he's not going to play Diallo.
Yeah. He's not going to do it, is he?
He's not going to do it. But I'd love to see. Like, let's see. You know what I mean?
I don't know if we're going to see Diallo until probably pre-season, to tell you the
truth. Pre-season.
I swear down.
Pre-season 2023. You know what I'm saying? That's when we're going to see him in that.
Even you know what? Even chucking him in, actually, him and Sancho as right wing options next year. I like that.
That's what I'm saying. You got those 2 as right wingers options. Martial and Greenwood is your 9.
Sancho's a 10.
Rashford that can play left.
Sancho's not even a right winger. He's a 10 actually, but he's just 10s or on the wing now. He's like Hazard, Neymar sort of thing.
Yeah.
Neymar's a 10. He's not a winger.
Quality baller.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Pay the money and go get him in that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gassed to see Dalot. You see the goal he scored over the weekend. I'm a massive Dalot fan. You see that goal?
Yeah.
I didn't see the goal, but I'm a fan of him.
Oh.
He scored screamer, yeah.
Bro, he just let it go over him and he hit top bins, bro. I think he's cold, man.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
With AC Milan, I've only missed about 4 or 5 AC Milan games. I bang out at Milan, I can't lie. I think the players we want to watch out for is we want to watch out for Theo Hernandez. Theo Hernandez is an incredible left back.
Yeah, very good left back.
Best left backs in the world. It depends if they start Dalot. If they start Dalot, Calabria will probably be at DM.
No, the lot can't start.
Huh? No, he can.
He can play.
Yeah, Coutinho did remember in the CL. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did.
It depends. If Banaka is still injured, then they'll play Calabria at DM, which is their right back. And then
But is Tonali not around?
Tonali is, but I think he's been a bit injury prone.
Okay.
So it depends. But what
I know Kesse's been all right this season.
Yeah,
Kesse's been all right. So it'd probably be Tonali, Banaka, and then Calabria at the right back. I know with defensive right back, but there's no Ibra, so. Yeah,
but that'd be Raphael Leao up front then.
I'm telling you, Pioli is a tactically inept manager, so we don't need to be worried about him.
I love that. Oh, there we go. You know what? Aiden thinks we're gonna go through, which is nice. I think we're good enough to go through. I know they got Tomori as well from Chelsea at the back as well. Rob Noli. So it'll be interesting to see how they get on with the pace. They've got at the back. Sarcasm. Obviously flawless. What do you think about the Europa League? Think we go through?
Yeah, I think we go through on that. I don't know. Like speaking to the likes of Aiden and others who watch AC Milan more than I do. If there was something to fear, I think they would speak up about it. And again, with the individual players we have, with Rashford being out, we should be able to bypass them over 2 legs. And I'm fairly confident, I would say, that we can beat AC Milan. Like I said, literally relying on the individual players we have. That's what gives me confidence going into every Manchester United game, is what we have in the final third.
Do you know what, actually? Just throw it out there quickly. I know I don't normally like going over an hour, but I just thought with Rashford out, he's played I think he's played the most games for us this season. But it'll be interesting now to see how we play without him, because we've not had Rashford. I mean, we've not had Martial. We've not had, obviously, Cavani for some games. Greenwood hasn't played all the time, but Rashford always feels to me he's been consistent mainstay. So now not to have him in the side, it'll be interesting to see how the team sort of do play with
just to say, top five players with the most minutes in Europe, 4 Man United players: Maguire, Rashford, Bruno, and
Wan-Bissaka.
I can't remember who it was. Wan-Bissaka,
Wow, there we go. And that for me is a wrap. Manchester United boys, we're running their legs into the ground, but hopefully with about 12 games to go in the league, we're in the Europa League, we're in the FA Cup. Hopefully Ollie can kick on. I think the main thing from the Manchester derby is that we don't want to see us win that game and then go and draw something against West Ham, which should be so typical of our club this season. But let's not get to that. Let's see what happens this week. We've got AC Milan on Thursday. I'll be back with some post-match reactions as well on Thursday, and then we'll be going into the game on Sunday, and then I'll be back with a podcast Monday. But guys, honestly, it's been a great podcast, and that hour flew by.
Yeah, man. Big up for inviting, man. Big up for having me. Appreciate it, man. Love that.
Thank you very much, man. All supporting each other, man. I think that's the main thing. And like, I enjoy meeting good people. And you guys know your football. It's not just coming in here sort of like chat. To be honest, I'm going to say, like, you lot don't chat rubbish, man. And that's why I got you on. I like people that know their football.
That's good to know.
Debate. And you're passionate as well, man. You got your personalities there. RB has obviously joined me all the time on the Trafford Tunnel doing previous shows. So thank you coming on. Flawless. Just want to shout out to people again to where they can find you. And just before you do, Flawless did do a Chew the Fat show with Daps and Soups, which is another part of our Never a Foul, which is more getting to know Flawless behind the scenes, his music, his passion, what got him into doing the podcast and that. So make sure you go and hit that up, man. That was out last week. But yeah, Flawless, man, take it away.
Episode.
Yeah, man, make sure you like I said, check in with Never a Foul podcast, because you can see what they're building in it. They're doing the empire thing, and I respect that, because that's exactly the vibe that I'm on in it. So I respect it. I know how hard the graft is and how unrewarding it can be at times. So you lot, man, support all the shows on the channel. But yeah, you can catch me, like I said, subscribe to Sarcasm City TV. We go live literally every day. It's mainly sports, so we got many football shows, like a Manchester United show, Manchester City show, Arsenal show. Then we do the crossovers between the two, where we do the Manchester United and Manchester City show, Q&A sports. But then we've got, even at 9 p.m, we've got Walk to the Octagon, which is the MMA show. They're doing a recap of the fight from the weekend. Adesanya versus, I can't pronounce the guy's name. I don't watch MMA Yeah, that's it. So they're doing a recap. We also have a boxing show as well, plus more. We got more shows coming, music show, everything in it. It's playlist for everything. So subscribe to Sarcasm City TV and follow me on Twitter and Instagram. That's me, Flawless.
Wicked, man. There you go. And Aiden, you can feel the red carpet's out for you. You can walk down it, man. Now, thank you so much for joining me. Obviously, I know you've been on other podcasts as well. Always speak real. Always come with the good facts and everything. So I really appreciate you coming on the show. And hopefully, for all you three, you'll be on again. But Aiden, obviously, I know you don't have your own show, but they can find you there. Was it United Aiden with 2 N's? Yeah.
Yeah, United Aid on 2 ends. I haven't got all that, the bad stuff that other people have, but yeah, it's,
soon come, man. Never know.
Soon come, hopefully, but I'm hoping. But yeah, if you want to see some proper propaganda, some Martial prop, Dembele prop,
that needs to be the name of your that needs to be the name of your channel, fam. Proper propaganda. That should be the name of your channel. If you don't take that name, I'm gonna use it for something, man. That's fine. Proper propaganda.
Labile FC or something. Labile FC. But yeah, follow me if you want. I'm taking a break until second leg of the
I do.
Then, so give me a follow. Yeah.
Big up Indiana in the comments as well, man. Make sure you
I love that. Yeah,
Indiana's cool.
Flawless.
I do, man. I need hella credit for that. There's so much going on, yo. There's so much going on.
Honestly, man,
blur,
you have to get an Argos catalog for your shows, man.
Yo, so much going on in that. Facts, yo, in it. I'm just gonna play a video in it and just run it. Like I said, follow me and you can find everything at That's Me Flawless.
That's brilliant, man. Now, I love everything that everyone's doing, man. It's brilliant to get everyone together. It's Manchester United's Trafford Tunnel and never a foul. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I appreciate your support every time. And always love for my guests, man. Without each other, this show wouldn't be the thing, man. So yeah, everyone have a blessed week. Stay positive. The sun was shining today, and hopefully Man United can get the win this week. Peace.
There you go.